So I have been wanting to talk about this story for quite some time when it first happened, this tragedy, but I just wanted to give it some time to see if any more information would come out about this story. But this story is, it's very sad, but I think it has a lesson that we can all learn from it. That's why I wanted to talk about this tragedy. As you guys are aware, a lot of rappers are losing their life left and right. Left and right. I mean, you name it. Just in the last month, we lost two rappers, at least. I think more than that, but the ones that I know of is PNB Rock and this young lady here, Lotto Cash Desto. A lot of people have so many speculations about what happened to her life. Some people speculate that because she was always plastering around, the bricks of money that we see a lot of rappers plaster around and all the jewelry, as you can even see in this photo here, that this was a robbery on bad. I don't think that though. I think that this is a case of someone who took on the beef, I would say, that she's seen someone she wanted to be cool with and basically dissed a rapper who had passed away who she never met. She didn't even know who this person was. But because she wanted to be cool with someone that she was hanging out with, she decided to diss this person who passed away, who she had no affiliations with, on a song. And I think that was what led to her death. That's what I think. It is a theory. Nobody knows exactly what happened in this story, but I thought we should talk about it because I see this happen a lot in in society. People will get into these friendships or cliques. You don't have to be in a rapping group to do this. Like you could be just amongst friends. And just because sometimes their friend doesn't like a certain person, other people will not like that same person, even though they don't even know who the person is. I feel that is just not fair. We should not follow into the lead of someone else just because that person has a discord or a disagreement with someone we don't even know. And a lot of people blindly follow the lead of certain people to be cool, to be accepted. And I just think that that's not a wise thing to do because you don't even know the person that you're beefing with. You're just doing it because your friend is doing it. Number one. Number two, you need to have your own mindset and your own thought processes. And number three, in any means, we should never diss anyone who's passed away, no matter who they are. Death is a very touchy, sad subject. It's very sad, and it is a finalization of someone's life. And I think we should respect those who pass away because all of us will end up in that way one day. So I think it's a subject where we should be very sensitive and very gentle and remorseful to those who have lost their lives, especially when you don't even know them. So this rapper here, I wanted to talk about her, just I feel like it's a lesson we can talk about. So this rapper, everybody's pretty much sad because she's passed away. She was a new and up and coming rapper, so she wasn't really well known yet. In fact, I looked at her Instagram. I mean, not her Instagram. I looked at her YouTube, and she only had about 7,000 subscribers on there when I first looked at it. She might be up to a bigger number now because people have seen that she passed away and a lot of people subscribe after the fact. She had a pretty decent following though on Instagram. I think over 100,000, I believe. But the rapper was in a Porsche SUV, so she was very flashy, and that's what the rapping culture does. They like to flash all of their accessories or whatever. They like to flash expensive cars, jewelry, money, and that is just making them a target in the first place. You notice a lot of people that are not in the rapping community and they're affluent, they are more wise with their riches. You're not going to see them walking around, especially in the white community. I see this, the flashing go along a lot in the black community. A lot of the times in the black community or rapping community, they like to flash their riches because a lot of times they come from impoverished backgrounds. Okay, they're not used to having nice things. So when they do get some riches and some fame and accessories, they want to celebrate and flash all of their riches and fame. And especially in the rap culture, that is the culture to show your riches and fame because it symbolizes that they made it. Reality is, all it does is make you a target. That's all it does. So you'll notice people who are used to having money, um, and who come from old money, which you call, they are not going to walk around with their expensive jewelry. In fact, you won't even know that they're rich because they usually drive regular cars. They dress like an average citizen, and you're not going to see them with their expensive stuff. Probably the most expensive thing you'll see on them is their wedding ring, and that's about it. They move that way because they know and they're aware of the dangers. Whereas people who are not familiar with riches, when they finally, quote unquote, make it in society, they think, oh, let me flash what I have, but that is the wrong approach, number one. So, anyways, she's driving around with this Porsche SUV, so her car is already standing out. So, whoever her enemies were, they already caught wind of her car because her car was her identification. Made her stood out. Number one. She was laid out at a birthday party celebrating with some friends because a friend had a birthday party and she was there. And so she was leaving that birthday party around 2:30 a.m. in the morning. It was at a club or whatever they were leaving from. When cops arrived on the spot, they discovered 2 women with gunshot wounds. The individual accompanying the rapper was admitted to the hospital. Now, their whole intention was to kill Lotto Cash Desto, not really the passenger. The passenger just happened to get shot because she was there. The passenger is the girlfriend of Lotto Cash. They're in a relationship. So she just happened to be at the wrong place, wrong time. There was also a male victim who was injured. So here's what happened. Desto Lotto Cash pulls up at an intersection stoplight. While she's waiting for a light, there's a car that pulls up next to them. 2 individuals get out of the car and they start shooting at the vehicle that Desto is in. Their whole purpose and their goal was to take out Desto. That was the whole goal. Now, during this altercation, one of the suspects gets shot in the stomach. It's unclear. This is the part where it's unclear. It's unclear whether Desto returned shooting or the girlfriend did, or if one of those bullets kind of ricocheted off something in the car and ended up landing in the abdomen of one of the suspects. But one of the suspects ends up shot too. The guy who was with the other suspect who got shot abandoned his friend. The one that got shot, his name is Christian, I think his name is. So he ends up, the guy that shot, his friend leaves him at the scene, takes off, okay? Talk about friends, right? What kind of friend is that? Takes off. So the other suspect's laying there in the parking lot, shot up, right? So when the officers arrived to the scene, you could see all the bullets and the casings there that kind of show and highlight where the attack happened. And the guy Christian ends up and he gets also hospitalized because a private person takes him to the hospital, but eventually he's now arrested for murder because his friend abandoned him, left him there at the scene. Okay, guys, make it make sense. So anyway, this is what the person they're talking about here. They said a male victim who was also injured in the shooting was reportedly discovered at the same spot and transported to a medical facility in another vehicle. This male victim is not a victim. This male victim was a suspect who was eventually charged with murder, okay? He was one of the individuals that got out of the car and was shooting at Desto Lotto, and law enforcement eventually caught wind of that after they looked at surveillance, and he eventually got arrested for murder. And his other friend who left him at the scene is still on the run, okay? So according to Houston Police Department, the victims seemed to be in their early 20s, and they were expected to survive considering their non-life-threatening injuries. And of course, these people, because they were not the main targets, they got lucky, they got away. Desto Lotto, they wanted her dead. This was an execution. In my opinion, this was not a robbery because none of her, allegedly, there's no indication that any of her property or items were found taken or stolen. There's nothing in the report so far saying any of her property was stolen. Someone came there at that point to execute her. And we'll get into why. My opinion, my theory. It's just a theory, guys, of why I think happened. I think somebody had it out for this girl. Because she got involved with the wrong friends. You got to be careful who you surround yourself with. very careful, because it can be a matter of life and death. You can even be at the wrong place, wrong time, where in this case, Lotto Cash, Desto's girlfriend, was at the wrong place, wrong time. She had nothing to do with the altercation, but she happened to just be in the car with the target, the person that was being targeted. So we've got to be very careful who you're around. So here's somebody who knew of Desto Lotto, and they said, "Rest in peace, my girl. I love you too," from Memphis. Lotto Cash, Desto by Memphis. So here's the tragedy too of this, guys. Desto is from Memphis, Tennessee. She recently moved to Texas. Okay, she just moved to Texas. And the sad part is, when she just moved there, she posted on Facebook how happy she was to have moved to Texas, and how Houston, Texas is way better than Memphis. And she was so excited. And eerily enough, within a matter of, I think, a day or a week after she posted that on Facebook, she's brutally murdered in Houston, Texas. That's the sad thing about it. She just posted on her Facebook how happy she was about moving to this, Houston, Texas, where this was ended up being a dangerous place to move. What's eerie is the person that she becomes friends with is a person by the name of Julio Fulio. That's the name of this rapper. This guy, Julio Fulio, is in all kinds of mess. That's what I'm saying. You got to be careful about who are your friends. She linked up with this rapper, Julio Fulio, because she's trying to get into the rapping industry. So she is known to have connections with Uzi. What's this rapper called? Lil Uzi. And he did a couple collaborations with her in some type of rap songs on her YouTube. You'll see there where Lil Uzi is featured in some of her songs. So she's partnered with him. And then she made the deathly mistake of partnering up with the wrong friend, Julio Fulio. This guy, Julio Fulio, is complete trouble. This guy has gotten into so many different beefs with opposing parties out there. And because of this man, his own girlfriend, Julio Fulio's own girlfriend, was in one of his vehicles one time driving, and she ended up getting shot. Her head was grazed with a bullet, and ended up injured. Thank God she survived. But it just seems like people who tend to be around or associated with Julio Fulio end up getting shot or dead. So little did Lotto Cash Desto know, she didn't know that she was making a deathly decision to be friends with this person. That's the sad part about it, because hindsight 2020, when you look on the outside, you would just be like, no, don't become friends with this person. No, don't do it. And, her, Desto, didn't even realize what she was doing. So she links up with Julio Fulio on a song. Julio Fulio is from Florida. The people that Julio Fulio had issues with are in Florida, right? And she does a song with this rapper, Julio Fulio. And on the song, she starts dissing the ops of Julio Fulio. So she took on the dispute that Julio had, and she made it her own when she had nothing to do with it. She doesn't even know who these other people are, which was completely wrong on her end. It was completely wrong. And then number two, bashing a dead person. You don't even know who this person is, and then this person lost their life. It's the worst thing to do. So she gets on a song with this guy, Julio Fulio. Julio Fulio literally was out there selling marijuana. He was selling marijuana, and he named the marijuana after his dead op. The dead op is named, I don't know the full guy's name, but his name is Leeke or something like that. I don't know his full name, but his name Leeke of some sort. That's his name. I don't know if it's his rapping name or a nickname, but his nickname is Leeke, and unfortunately he passed away some time ago. There are people that care about him, just like anyone who's passed away. There's people that have family members, friends, all of that. You affect not only the person who passed away, but you affect those people who are grieving the loss of this person. And in fact, Desto didn't even know who the person was. So anyway, Julio Fulio, who Desto unfortunately became friends with. This was the deathly move. She became friends with this person, thinking that, she was trying to advance in her career. And they become friends, right? And as they're friends, they do a song together. And Julio Fulio had been selling marijuana that he named, I guess, Leeke or something. He named the marijuana Leeke. I don't think Desto really knew what was going on. So she creates these lyrics and she's like, I'm smoking on Julio, I'm smoking on Leeke with, or Julio gave me some Leeke or whatever. I don't know the name of the lyrics, guys. I'm not into rap. So look up the look up the lyrics yourself. But she's like smoking on Leeke, you know, or Julio got me smoking on Leeke. She said that one line, and that line in the song, I believe, was what caused her death. Because when she said that, I don't know if she realized who Leeke was. I don't know if she just was saying smoking on Leeke because that was the name of the product that Julio was selling. And Julio knew why he named the product Leeke because he was dissing his deceased op, which was awful, right? But who knows? I don't know if Desto knew that that name was affiliated with a deceased person, or she just was saying, I'm smoking on the name of the product that Julio told her about. You know what I mean? So there's two sides to the story. There's a question of, did she know she was actually dissing this person who had passed away? Or was she just kind of trying to promote this product that her friend Julio Fulio had given her? You know what I mean? Because he's going around saying, this is the name of my marijuana. It's called Leeke. Hey, you know, you want to smoke some of this? And she's like, oh, okay, I'm smoking on, or Julio got me smoking on Leeke. That's what she said. So I don't know, guys. I don't know if this was intentional where she knew she was actually dissing someone, or did she just think she was being cool, referencing the name of the product that Julio gave the product. He gave the product that name, Leeke. And she's thinking she's promoting his product, not realizing that she's dissing someone who had passed away. That's the question that we don't know. Either way, she didn't deserve to die, of course, but it's still something we can learn from because it makes us realize that we got to be careful who we affiliate with because it could be a matter of life and death. It could be. You got to really be careful. I don't know if Desto didn't know what she was getting involved in or if she did. It is sad because who she got involved in, I believe, is what led to her demise. It's just a theory, guys. It's not, I'm not giving you any facts because I don't know exactly what led to her the demise. But just looking at the indications that the reports are giving us, it doesn't appear that these two individuals who targeted her robbed her. They didn't take anything from her. They particularly executed this woman. They were following her from the club, I believe. Because when she stopped at that light, as soon as she stopped, they stopped their car. They got out of the car and they directly one of them shot her in the head. So this was an execution. This wasn't oh, I'm trying to rob you. They didn't take anything. They didn't want anything. All they wanted, sadly, was her life. That is so sad, what they wanted. Okay? It's so sad. And one of the people that got out of the car, he ended up getting shot. So he got arrested, thank God. So they're probably interrogating him, which he already disclosed who the other guy was who got away. So now the other guy is on the run and they're looking for him. But let's take a look at this video here. So that was... Okay. Oh, sorry, guys. This is her rapping song. I'm trying to get off of it right now. It's not responding. But that's kind of example of her songs. In my opinion, I don't really care for it, but I don't know what rappers like and don't like. I don't really like the song, but hey, you guys might be into rap and might think it's cool. I'm just not into rap like that. So the SUV, her SUV, was shot in both directions. They ambushed her. This was not a robbery. This was not a road rage. The officers were saying that they had no information. They didn't know if it was a robbery or if they didn't know if it was road rage. They didn't have enough. I'm thinking this was an execution. Look at the bullets where it landed. They particularly shot this one person in all the car. There was two people in the car. They shot one person in the head, the person they wanted dead. And then the other girl, she just happened to get shot because she was in the vicinity of where those bullets were going. She just happened to be there. Because if they wanted items, they could have just went into the car, took her jewelry after that like they did with P&B Rock. No, they didn't take anything. They didn't want anything from her. They just wanted her life. That's sad. This guy here, Little Uzi or whatever his name is, he kind of took her under his wing, and he was gonna help her. And the sad part is, this young lady was gonna blow up in rapping. She was up and coming rapper. So she was gonna blow up because there was this other rapper named Kodak. And again, guys, I don't know about these rappers, so if I got the names wrong, you let me know. But there was a rapper named Kodak, and Kodak had messaged her telling her before she passed away that he was going to sign her to him. And she had a distribution deal with I don't know, what is that other label? She had a distribution deal with another label, but she wasn't signed with them. But she was actually going to sign with Kodak, and he was going to help promote this young lady. So, I mean, I don't really like her rapping, but it doesn't matter whether I like her rapping or not. There's people out there who do like her rapping, and she could have eventually been very successful because she had the support of very prominent rappers in the industry. She had a little Uzi on her side. She had connections with Kodak, and that's all it takes in this industry. All it takes in Hollywood, it really doesn't matter what your talent is. You could have talent or not have talent. What matters is who you are linked up with, what connections you have. And she had some good connections, and she almost was going to be successful. That's the sad part about the whole thing, is she was on her way. So she last released music, and she was signed. Oh, she was signed to Little Uzi Vert. And she released a music video for Lunchroom last month, which also featured Vert. But Kodak released a statement saying, and he also released messages between him and her that she was going to sign under him. So she was going to blow up as a rapper, basically. She was still up and coming. Not many people knew about her. Only if you were in that type of community, rapping community, and you were familiar with rappers, did you know about this young lady. But she was really about to come up because she had some huge connections. She was last active on Instagram and had 121,000 followers and 37 posts. Her pictures and videos mostly featured her having fun with her friends, also included several cars in the background, as you guys see in that rapping culture, with expensive items. They always have the brick of money, and it's just making them a target. I would say rappers need to stop doing that, period. And if they do, they need to have a lot of security. She was also wearing a completely black outfit in her latest post, and the caption read, "Dressed up in an expensive linen, spent 5 racks off in Balenciaga." I don't know why they do that. Spent 5 racks? Like, you're literally telling people. Now, I know this wasn't a robbery, guys. I'm just saying this. We can learn 2 things from this. Is just not plastering our expenses all over social media. Also, we can learn from that also, because this could have made her a target also. It could have, but I don't think that was the case because no one even stole anything. But I'm just saying it could have made her a target just because she's literally posting all of her riches online. Desto is known for songs like Best in Me, Free Slat, and more. Lotto Cash Desto's net worth was estimated to be around $3 million. So she was already rich, y'all. She was already rich before she actually was about to take off as a rapper and was going to become even more rich. She earned a lot from her career as a rapper. Considering the information available online about her, she was believed to be a rising star in the music industry. So she was still coming up. Here is her Instagram. And you can see a lot of our rappers, they always have to post and parade around with their riches and fame. And this is what led here to PNB Rock's death. So it's just, you got to be careful. The rappers out there need to start moving differently. I know it's their culture. It is the rapping culture to plaster all of their jewelry. But if you look at the older rappers, like, for example, Snoop Dogg or Ice Cube, or some of the ones, or what is the other older rappers out there, guys? You guys name them for me. But the older rappers, you notice the difference between them and our more modern rappers is that the older rappers are not going around plastering their jewelry. There are a lot of them in new interviews. They're not wearing all that jewelry. They're not going around with bricks of money in their hand because they know the dangers of that. They already know. And our younger modern rappers, they're not realizing they're making themselves a target with all this jewelry on. They're thinking it's cool because their whole life they never really had anything coming up. So they want to now celebrate their riches and fame by plastering all these jewelries and money and stuff, when all it does is make them a target. And we've lost so many rappers because of this. Um, Extension, I can't say that guy's name for anything. Extension, PNB Rock, Pop Smoke, you name it. The list goes on of different rappers who died because of this lifestyle. Although she was a popular face among the public, Desto did not have a Wikipedia page. Detailed information about her career, educational, and date of birth, parents remain unknown. And that's because she was up and coming. She wasn't really well known. Crimes against rappers have increased in the last years, and the recent deaths of PNB Rock was a shock to everyone in the hip hop industry. And you can see here, there's about 200 rappers dead. 200. It's a dangerous industry. And they should already, people should, who are in the rapping community should now realize that and really make sure they're going to have security. You notice the people who move smart in that type of career are still alive. For example, Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube. What's the other guys, man? Oh gosh, guys, I'm not into this rap stuff. LL Cool J was a rapper. Who else? Ice Cube. All those older rappers, they're still alive. T.I. Because they know. Offset, he's still alive. They know. You got to look at how they move versus how these other street rappers are moving. And you could tell the difference. What precautions they're taking and what the lack of precautions they're taking. Gun violence following robberies and disagreements has led to death of several well-known rappers in the last few years. The list includes popular rappers like, this is the guy I was talking about, Triple X Testacion, XXX Testacion, Nipsey Hussle, Pop Smoke, King Von, and Young Dolph. So it's either jealousy. Young Dolph died because of jealousy. The person in his own clique, one of them was a part of killing him. One of the people that killed him was previously his friend. That's sad. That's the same thing that happened to Mo 3. He started beefing with people that used to be in his friend, his circle. These people end up getting jealous of other rappers who come up and become famous. King Von, he had a beef. Extortion and Pop Smoke were robs. Same thing with PNB Rock. Nipsey Hussle, that was a case of jealousy, pure point blank. The person that killed him came to that location with the intent to kill him. He already knew the location where Nipsey Hussle was. He told the girlfriend that he was dating to go to that particular location because he knew he was going to run into Nipsey Hussle. And he already had his firearm on him ready to go. I don't think that particular person regarding Nipsey Hussle, I don't think he was mad because Nipsey Hussle called him a snitch. I don't think that was the whole reason. They just used that as a way to try to argue before the jury that this was a heat of passion scenario to get a lighter sentence. But that was not the real motive. The real motive was that he was mad. The one that killed Nipsey Hussle, he was mad because actually Nipsey Hussle was working with this person before. He was one of his rappers under his group. And then eventually he kicked out that man because he was known to be a snitch. So he stopped working with him. And that is why I think he was mad at Nipsey Hussle. So when he came back there was jealous rage already in him, and this was already intended. So you can see the different scenarios here that happen with the different rappers. It's either because they're flashing their money, there's some ongoing beef, like King Von, Tupac, Biggie, Biggie, is it Biggie? Notorious B.I.G. Oh, I don't know the guy's name. I think it's Biggie. Young Dolph, I think that was just pure point blank jealousy. Mo 3, that was a whole thing regarding a woman involved in that situation. That was jealousy. Testacion, Pop Smoke, robbery. In this particular case, my theory is, we don't know yet what happened with Desto, but my theory is this has to do with her being affiliated with people who had known beefs. And unfortunately, she said some things that rubbed people the wrong way because Leeke's friend, after she had did this song with Julio Fulio, and in her song, she was saying she was smoking on Leeke, right? One of Leeke's friends heard that song and he became angry. And he stated on a video, he said, whoever disses my friend Leeke is basically going to die. That's what Leeke's friend said in a video. He warned everybody after the fact. And, everybody went about their life, forgot about the whole statement. And Lord and behold, unfortunately, she announces she's in Houston, Texas, And all of a sudden now, after she makes that announcement, within a week or so, she's found dead. To me, this sounds like a straight hit. It sounds like an execution. So there was a video I found that kind of gave us a background about it. This guy right here, this is the man that was the friends with Leeke. And he had a big issue with Desto Lotto. And he did after she passed away, he basically dissed her and was pretty mad about it. But we're going to go into the background about why he did this, and then we'll see if we can find the message of him dissing her.
On a song with their ops, Julio Fulio. Alright? Now, quick backstory. Lil Leeke was affiliated with ATK and Young and Ace, who was most notably into it with KTA and Julio Fulio. Now, Lil Leeke was shot and killed, and in true trolling form, Julio Fulio took one of the most disrespectful approaches when he had Leeke's picture printed on a weed bag and called it Leeke Packs toward his death.
So see if you heard that the guy Julio Fulio, who partnered up with Desto, unfortunately, Desto partnered up with Julio Fulio because she thought, you know, she was gonna, it was somebody in the rap industry, maybe he can help her in her career. So that's the thing. Julio Fulio was going around selling these weed packets with the name Leeke on it. That's why I'm thinking, did Desto realize that she was dissing a deceased person when she was promoting the weed packet? Or was she just promoting the weed packet blindly, not realizing that the name of the product was actually a diss to a deceased person? That's what I'm wondering. That's the question I have in the back of my head. Like, what was the intent? Did Julio Fulio explain to Desto what was the whole name behind the weed packet? Because he could have easily have set this woman up without her realizing it. She aligned herself with someone who could have set her up without her even knowing that she was aligning herself into a beef that she had absolutely nothing to do with.
On Instagram and began promoting it on his Instagram story, and that was that. Now here's where Lotto Cash Desto comes in, because she did a song featuring Fulio called Pop Out, and she said, quote, "I'm with Fulio sliding G, and he got me smoking on Leeke."
So you heard that she said, "I'm with Julio Fulio sliding on G, he got me smoking Leeke." So that lyric makes me think, was she just naming the product, saying, "Oh, I'm smoking on Leeke"? Like, for example, I'll give you an example. I'm driving in a car eating McDonald's. That's the name of the product. The name of the product is McDonald's. That's what the organization named it. If there's some background beef behind the name McDonald's, I don't know. I'm just naming the product that I purchased, right? So I'm wondering, when she partnered up with Julio Fulio, was she just trying to be cool and promote his product to look cool in his eyes? Or did she already know about the historical beef that Julio Fulio had with Leeke? And did she intentionally do a diss by saying smoking on Leeke? Either way, his friends heard that verse and they did not like it. And they started turning their aggression not only towards Julio Fulio, but towards her and anyone who is affiliated with Julio Fulio. Even Julio Fulio's girlfriend got shot. So it seems as though anyone who even aligns themselves with Julio Fulio, those people tend to become targets.
And in the video, Julio showed the weed bag that has Leeke's face on it during that whole transition.
Oh, shoot. So in the video, y'all, Julio Fulio takes the packet of the marijuana and it has the face of Leeke, who is deceased. Now that is a direct diss to this deceased man. That's right there. Because that was the question I had. I was like, was this intentional or not? It looks like, with that being said, the fact that they had a photo of this deceased man on a weed packet and they're smoking on him, that is completely a horrific, disrespectful. That's disrespectful to a deceased person. You're smoking on a dead person? That's messed up. Now, did she deserve to die because of that? No, she didn't. The only reason why we're talking about this story is not to criticize anything that Desto Lotto did. It's to help educate any other people out there who may find themselves aligning themselves with people that they have no clue may be in beefs or altercations that could endanger your life. And I think this is an important topic because I lost someone close to me because of the same situation. Her situation was a slightly different. She was dating. It was because this woman, it was in a relationship. I just love this young lady. She was a beautiful Christian woman. She used to work at the Christian restaurant, and she just had the most beautiful spirit, you guys. She was a good person. She was a Christian woman. She wasn't involved in any problems. But the problem with it was that she aligned herself with the wrong man. She aligned herself with a man who was in a gang, and he had targets all over his back. People were after this man. And her uncle, who was the pastor of my church, kept warning her. Her uncle, his wife, everyone in her family kept warning her about this man. They were like, you need to get away from this guy. He's going to get you killed. He's a bad person. And she didn't listen. She let her love and her heart for this guy to get the best of her. And she kept hanging out with this guy. Well, unfortunately, one day they're out and about, and his enemies, the guy who she was with, the gang member, his enemies came after him, saw him on the streets, shot up him and my friend. My friend died that day. Tragic bullets all throughout her body because she was with the wrong, she aligned herself with someone who was involved in all kinds of disputes and had a target on his back. That's why I saw this story and I said, we need to talk about this on my page because there may be people out there who may be good people, good life, they stay out of trouble, but they could end up falling prey because you get lined up with the wrong people. And I think that's what happened to Desto. A good young lady, had a wonderful future, promising future, and she got involved with the wrong person, which led to her losing her life, in my opinion. My opinion.
Of the lyrics. So now, going back to Jdot Breezy, after dissing her and facing backlash, I must say on this one, I have to agree with him, and
Okay, so let's look at his explanation. So this is the guy here. He was pretty angry still at Desto. After Desto dies, this man here gets online. His name is Breezy. Guys, I don't know who these people are. I don't know the guy's name. Who is this guy? Oh, his name is Jdot Breezy. That's his name. They be having some weird rapper names, guys. But Jdot Breezy, after Desto was brutally murdered, he gets online, he starts celebrating, which is awful. Still awful. Both people are wrong. And he was getting a lot of backlash for doing this. And here was his statement.
Where y'all was when she was speaking on my dog, though? Where y'all was when she was speaking on my dog, though? Oh, okay. But I guess because she a female, ain't supposed to slide.
So that was his thing. Let me see if I can find him. Jdot. And I'm not going to agree with him. I know that's why I stopped the video, because the guy was starting to agree with Jdot Breezy. I'm not agreeing with any side. I just think it's important to talk about it. So here is going to be him trying to address people who were mad at him. People were mad at him, and so people are addressing him now because he, dissed Desto when she brutally lost her life.
Y'all tripping. The fuck? Listen, let me sit this out here right quick before y'all get to talking about some fucking clout chasing, because everybody blowing my page up. Everybody blowing my page up about this girl. First off, I don't give a fuck any street nigga. I don't give a fuck any street nigga know. Boy, when it come to your dad partners, boy, nigga not having that shit, boy. Nigga not having that shit, boy. Nigga do not know this hoe. Nigga don't know this hoe from a can of paint. This hoe hop on the song with a nigga talking about she smoking Leeke.
See, you heard that? So it's hard to understand these rappers when they're talking. First of all, I apologize right now, guys, for the cursing. When we talk about rap topics, just know that there's going to be cursing because these rappers, they just use a lot of foul language. But what he is saying is that he's mad because he didn't understand why Desto didn't even know who his friend was and had the nerve to get on the song and say smoking on Leeke. Notice she did this song a while ago, and this man is still very hurt because she dissed a friend that's very close to him. That's why you got to be very careful with the things you say and who you're aligning with. And clearly, she did know what she was doing because on the song, there was a part where Julio Fulio posted a photo of Leeke on the marijuana package. So I thought that she didn't know. But clearly, based on that new information about the video, she did know that this was a direct link or direct diss to a person who had passed away. And you can look at this man who's speaking. He looks very angry still after the fact, for he has not let go of the diss towards his friend.
What? What? Bitch, is you stupid? Hold the fuck? Y'all mad? Y'all mad because niggas said they smoking this whole. Damn, where the same energy was when this whole hopped on the song dissing my dog and we never met this bitch. What that energy was?
See, they were mad. They're like, we don't even know who you are, and you have the audacity to diss my friend. So he goes online celebrating her death as a way to pay her back for her dissing the death of his friend.
Fuck all you motherfuckers was that saying, oh, you wrong for saying something about her. Where y'all was when she was speaking on my dog, though? Where y'all was when she was speaking on my dog, though? Oh, okay, but I guess because she a female, it supposed to slide. So, if I'm lame for doing that, all right, say for example, what if K.I. from Chicago was still alive and she out here slaying y'all motherfucking people? She a female. Y'all gonna let her slide? Y'all gonna let her?
So the thing is, when you get involved and you immerse yourself with friends who are involved in these beefs, whether you're a woman or a man, these type of people don't care. That's what he's telling you in this. It's a warning to people. They don't care whether you're a woman or a man. If you interject yourself in this street type gang violence stuff, or even if you're with the wrong person, like I told you, my friend she wasn't involved in gangs. She just got in a relationship with the wrong man who was involved in gangs. They don't care if you're a woman, if you're a kid, if you're around someone they have an issue with, your life can be on the line. That's why this story is so important, because you have to be careful who you align yourself with. Even if you're not aware of what's going on, your own friends and family will warn you, like they did my friend. People can see, sometimes it's the outside looking in. People who are on the outside will see stuff about someone you're friends with, and they'll be like, ooh, you need to stay away from such and such. Something ain't right about. Make sure you listen and you take heed to that, and you go and pray about that in your prayer closet and see if God will confirm either way what's going on with this person, because you just got to be careful when it comes to your life these days. But this man right here, he says some pretty brutal things, because he's telling everyone out there, it don't matter if you are a woman or a man. If you get yourself involved in any type of beef, your life could be on the line. And this could apply to anybody. I'm not saying just directly to him. I'm saying in reality in life. You have to be careful about being a part of situations you may not even know could be deadly.
Oh, I'm just asking the question though. I'm just asking the question. That one ain't never did shit to nobody over here, but you around here on a song. You on a song with another nigga dissing my homeboys, baby. You waiting for motherfucking Memphis.
See, he said, we never did anything to this woman, and she's dissing my deceased friend. You're all the way in Memphis. You're nowhere even near us in Florida, and we did nothing to you. How dare you diss my friend who has passed away? I'm still mourning the death of my friend, and you turn around and diss this person you have nothing to do with. That made them even more mad. They were even more angry when they heard the song, because they're like, who is this random woman on here dissing my friend who died, and we have nothing to do with her? They were angry. They were angry, and from then on, they plotted to take this girl out. And they were sitting there watching her. I guarantee these people, they will follow you online. They followed her online. And when she made that announcement that she moved to Houston, Texas, you know these people have connections in different states, right? Especially Houston. Houston's, oh my God, Texas is not the place to play with. You just don't want to play with that area. There's gang activity. There's people out there who will, and they have no shame in their game. Look what happened to Mo3. Look what happened to Mo3. There's no shame in their game. So even though this man is all the way in Florida, she might have thought she was cool. She wasn't thinking anything of it. After she did the song, she went on about her life. Didn't even think any more about Leeke, because I don't know of any future songs that she did. But these men, these people, still harbored this hatred and deadly perception of Desto, and they wanted her out from then on.
Way at the fucking bottom of the fucking whatever the fuck that shit is. We were at the fucking bottom, man. Y'all tripping. Y'all tripping. And that's just why I always say, bro, you females need to stop acting like niggas. Because when shit happen to y'all, everybody want to, she a female. But y'all weren't saying she was a female when this bitch was alive acting like a whole fucking nigga.
See, that's what he's saying. He said, if you are a woman and you're in meddling in men beefs and altercations, then they're saying you're going to be treated like a man. That's what he's saying. He's saying it's fair and square. If you want to align yourself with men's disputes, they're going to treat you like a man. I'm sorry, guys. I'm stopping and trying to translate because I don't know if people out there know. You know what I mean? Sometimes people speak in these slang and it's hard to understand what they're saying.
Y'all weren't saying that, though. Y'all weren't saying she was a female when she was alive, acting like a nigga, talking about she smoking on niggas and shit. She wasn't a female then. Y'all ain't give a fuck. Y'all was popping y'all heads. Now this whole dead. Everybody want to be motherfucking sad. Nah, fuck that bitch. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck how nobody feel, man. Fuck that whole way from motherfucking Memphis. Dissing niggas from Jacksonville, Florida. Man, y'all crazy as fuck.
See, look how angry he is. He still has anger in him and hurt in him because of one line in a song. That's why you gotta be careful, guys. You may have gone, the thing is, you may have gone on with your life. You got lined up with somebody, gone on with your life. You did one little thing, like Desto. She may have gone on with her life. She did the song, moved on with her life, forgot all about that song. When in reality, there's people like this who never get over that. And they're waiting for the right opportunity and the right time to wreak their revenge. And he's here saying, you know, I'm all the way in Jacksonville, Florida, and you in Memphis dissing somebody you don't even know who this person is because you got involved with the wrong friend. The wrong friend who did not care about your life, period. Julio Fulio is a dangerous person to affiliate with because people around him is getting shot up. You know, he's making people around him become targets because of his own personal issues and beefs with people. And he's the only one still here alive that hasn't been shot up. But his girlfriend was shot up. Thank God she's still alive. But now Desto is gone. When she had nothing to do with the original discord that Julio Fulio had with Leeke, who has passed away.
Y'all crazy as fuck. Y'all got me fucked up. Y'all better find somebody to play with. The fuck? Fuck y'all to my clout chasing. This whole YouTube views low as shit. What the fuck? This whole YouTube views low as shit. And y'all want to pull the clout. Y'all try to pull the word clout out on me. On me. Pull the word clout chasing on me. Make it make sense, man. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Y'all talking about motion.
Okay, so y'all get the point. I don't think I want to continue to play this guy because he's going to keep cussing. He looked like he not having it. He's still pretty angry and emotionally angry about her dissing his friends. This thing goes on and on and on, guys. But you guys get the point. I just wanted to share that with you guys as a way to learn. And so basically this is what he posted. This is what he posted. He put on his Instagram. He originally put, "Now you dead, wasn't even in your hometown. Should have acted like the gender you are, but you wanted to act like a you know the word, a Nija, Nigga. Now look at ya, fitted casket. That was the horrible words he said on his Instagram, which caused people to give him a lot of backlash. Like, dude, why would you do that and diss this poor woman who passed away? But in his mind, he was responding. The response we seen, we didn't watch the whole response, guys, because the cussing is just crazy. It's too much. It's too much, guys. But you could see him responding to the people saying, well, she should have acted her whatever. Now, I don't agree with that part, acted her gender part. I just feel like you got to be careful who you associate with. Be careful who you're around, because you don't know what beefs or what issues they're in. And do your due diligence to be careful in those environments, because somebody else's issues or beef can become your own. And then you become a target when you had nothing to do with the original disagreement. But I pray this young lady, and she was very young, it's sad. I pray that she rests in peace. She was in her early 20s. I think she was only 22, if I'm not mistaken. She was only 22 years old, just starting her life. So I just pray to God that she rests in peace. She thought she had escaped the dangers of Memphis, Tennessee, only to find herself brutally murdered in Houston, Texas. All right, thank you guys for watching. Take care, be safe, and God bless.